What's poppin', everybody? Cerebral24. Gonna quickly tell you guys what are the best decks that have come out from Lost Thunder. In no particular order, except for the last one. I'm gonna save the best for last, the strongest one in my opinion. But these are decks that if you're just gonna pull from Lost Thunder, build decks just from Lost Thunder that have emerged from that set, then these are some of the best ones, or the best ones. Now, keep in mind, this isn't like the best decks in the entire Sun and Moon meta, and a lot of these decks probably won't do anything for regionals and tournaments and stuff, the high caliber stuff, but they're the best sort of new decks from Lost Thunder. So the first one is going to be Blazefalloon GX along with the Nana Gundel, the new one, this combination. This is basically like a reverse Malamar deck. We've seen this before. There was the Camerupt from Double Crisis, didn't do much, but it's basically Blazefalloon GX. It's a nice little Ultra Beast GX Fire Pokemon, so it gets some good support. It gets the Ultra Beast support, so already a good plus. And it's got 3 solid attacks. Bursting Burn burns and confuses the opponent. That's not so amazing, but I guess it's a little good first attack. And Burst GX, it's basically like Kartana. It gives you a free prize. The difference is you discard it as opposed to adding it to your hand. If it's an energy, you get to attach it. But the main reason you use this Pokemon is for Mind Blown. Basically, you discard fire energies attached to any of your Pokemon, and times the number of you discard, you do 50 times. So you discard 3 to 4, and you get 1 hit knockouts. This is before add-ons, Choice Band, and the Beast Energy. So let's say if you discard 4, you got a Choice Band, 230. You discard 3, you have like the Beast Energy on and a Choice Band, you do 210 stuff. So pretty good. And the reason you combine this with Nanagandel, the obvious combo, is like I've said, reverse Malamar. Nanagandel gets the energy on itself. You grab energies from the discard pile and attach it to yourself. So you discard them on this dude and you get 1-hit knockouts. So reverse Malamar, 1-hit knockout strategy. Might be kind of better since you don't need to put stuff in the active and on the bench position and change your field up. You can just get them on a Gandel on the bench, discard them. This is also an Ultra Beast, so they have great synergy. And it's got a decent colorless attack too. If you have 3 prize cards, it's gonna do 160 for 3. So you have good coverage. They're Ultra Beasts. It's a nice combo. This deck has been seeing some hype before the set got released, and I think a lot of people are favoring it from this set. We'll see if it does anything. It's decent. I played against it, and well, I beat it with slacking, so that's not saying much. But I know it's a good deck. It's a fast energy acceleration, 1-hit knockout deck. Next up, we're going to talk about Sceptile. So Sceptile and the Grovyle I have here, they're probably going to be the most reliable Stage 2 GX deck if you want to run a Stage 2 GX deck. This is probably the most reliable one, even more so than Gardevoir, I have to say, because of Grovyle's ability to grab any grass Pokemon, and you can get to this guy pretty quickly, just like with Gabite from Dragon's Exalted. It's got solid attacks, Mac Cut, doing 1 for 60, always discarding a special energy. You can start doing solid damage at 130 and conserve energies too. And its Jungle Heal GX attack heals everybody that have any grass energy on. Now the reason why I think this guy is good is not only because, of course, because you can get him out quick, but because since he's a 230 HP Stage 2 GX Pokemon, it can take advantage of healing strategies better. There's a lot of good healing cards like Shaman, the new Stadium, of course, and just very good grass support in Lost Thunder too. So I think it should be a good Stage 2 GX deck. It's going to be much more consistent and better than even Tyranitar and these sort of decks. Like Tyranitar is pretty good from this set, but there's no way to quickly put energies on that dude. We don't really have any darkness energy acceleration now. Oh well. So Sceptile and Grovyle, pretty good as well. Next up, it's gonna be Lost March. This fucking deck. Alright, so this deck, if you played Night March, if you were a fan of Night March, you're probably gonna be a fan of this, of course. I still stand by that it's not as strong as Night March, I'd say. In ways, it's worse. In ways, it does a few things that are nastier than Night March, but When it comes to power and speed, I think Night March is still better. But maybe they did that on purpose. You know, maybe it's for the best. It's still going to be able to get some wins, and it might still end up being a good deck because in standard we don't have everything we have in expanded too. So the competition is tighter. But the idea is basically the same. You put cards in the lost zone, and then you do a lot of damage. Jumpluff is a stage 2, but you do get him out like a stage 1 basically with Skip Plume. But of course it plays sort of differently. I think they made it sort of more unflexible so that it's not going to be like super easy to put the cards there and do free damage like turn 1 or 2 like Night March. But it's still going to be pretty good. It might end up being one of the best decks. So we'll have to wait and see. Lost March, definitely one of the better decks that come out from Lost Thunder. You know, their own archetype sort of thing. Alright, next up we're going to go with Macargo here. I'm not sure how good this card is going to be, but it has synergy with the Macargo from Celestial Storm. Both that card and this card are solid. So who knows? Maybe people are going to figure out. Nice fire deck. It's the same idea with Lava Flow. You discard a lot of energies, you get one hit knockouts, and you know it's kind of self-sufficient too. Maybe you can try this with something like Blaziken from Dragon Majesty. Who knows? The GX attack is good. It's a solid sort of fire deck if you want to build Macargo. Not bad. Next up, we're going to look at Shuckle here. Now, this guy represents basically all of the grass decks. There's a lot of grass variants you can make in this from this set. A lot of different types of Pokemon like Virizion GX, a lot of healers. You got the stadiums, a lot of good tech grass Pokemon. You've got the Vespiquen. You can try that. Just make a nice deck that does 120 for one with a full bench. There's a lot of different tactics. Shuckle here represents all of them, but I put this guy here because I think this guy is not only a great card with its ability, but it can be its own standalone deck. You have sort of a GX Pokemon big enough that limits your opponent's Pokemon they can use with Protective Shell, and triple poison with a couple of Survivors. You're going to quickly put the hurt on, do a lot of damage. So I think he's going to be the best sort of grass mono deck if you want to build a deck with a grass Pokemon from that set. And represents everybody. Vespiquen might end up being pretty good. Other stuff like maybe Tangrowth could be pretty good with some healing. But I think this guy's the best. I really like him. You can try and build him on its own, like I've said. So Shuckle GX, definitely a good deck from this set. Poison your opponent and cheese your way to victory. And then the last deck, I still think this is the best deck. Zeraora GX and all of its variants. You can go pure, you can combine this with Zoroark GX, of course. You can combine this with a lot of different things. It's pretty great. The combination of this guy, Electro Power, and the Thunder Mountain Stadium. Gosh, it's just amazing. Even without the Thunder Stadium, if you consider that, okay, it's only one card, there's Raikou from Shiny Legends, you could combine this with this card, and it becomes basically kind of like the Darkness deck, how it was when X and Y came out. You've got the basic Yveltal, you have Yveltal EX, you put in the Darkrai, and you've got basically a nice, flexible, powerful deck. You got Fairy Retreat around the board, solid attacks. I mean, it can even, with the GX attack, you can instantly accelerate energies, and then even take advantage of cards like Hala. So there's just plenty of ways to build this deck. It's borderline excellent. Its stats are excellent. It has an excellent supporting role and an offensive role. Really no complaints. The fighting weakness can't be a problem, but I think it's for the best. Maybe balance it out. If it was weak to something like nobody was playing, it would have undoubtedly been the best deck. It might still end up being the best deck, but it definitely is going to have to fight with the fighting decks for that spot, and other decks still like Zoroark GX, and the anti-meta decks like Buzzle, Garbodor. But anyways, pretty standard, nothing else to say about this. And before I close this off, it's sort of a what if question mark. The unknowns. These cards, the unknown win conditions, nobody knows yet if they're going to be good. I have here the one that you win if you have 12 supporters in the lost zone. I think it's the most realistic one out of the two. Maybe the damage counter one, 66 damage counters. That can be possible too. The one that you need 35 cards, I don't see how you can do that, but maybe there's something I'm missing. This one though, that you just need 12 supporters, I think it's quite easy. There's Giraffric in this set. There's cards like the Slow King that can put a card in the Lost Zone when it attacks. Other things like the Trumbeak, maybe if you get lucky with that. And yeah, it just needs 12 supporters of everybody in the Lost Zone. So even Lost Prism supporters that go there instantly when your opponent plays them, that might even help, or the ones you use. So I feel like 12 cards is realistic. It's not so difficult to put there, and you basically win. So who knows? This might end up being the hacks deck everyone's gonna go to easily win, and maybe they'll end up banning the cards. But we'll have to wait and see. It's either not gonna do anything or it's gonna be very, very good. But for the regular ass decks, Zeraora GX is the top pick for this set. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wasn't really happy about how my best cards from Lost Thunder turned out video. That's why I made this, because I neglected a lot of the cards and a lot of stuff that I should have mentioned. So hope you guys enjoyed. And this is a good time for you guys to subscribe if you haven't already. My channel is an excellent hub for all things TCG. You check out my playlist. You're bound to find something for your interest, whether recent, the meta stuff right now, whether it's about stuff from past formats, a lot of retro stuff. I have a lot of stuff. Fun stuff like TCG overviews and top 10, the Legacy series. You're bound to find something. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys subscribe. Leave a like. Share this with your friends. Say Bro 54. What's up?